is Shaun with the Atlanta Tennis Podcast, powered by Go Tennis. Check out our calendar of Metro Atlanta tennis events at letsgotennis.com. And if you don't know Bike Friendly Atlanta, go to bikefriendlyatl.org. Check them out, like and subscribe on social media. Also, we want to hear your story on the podcast. So if you have a story to share, my favorite story now, I'm telling everybody, is I hit the great tweener in the city finals, and it was a winner, and it was amazing, and everybody was cheering, and I lost the match, so none of it mattered. But if you've got a great story, something fun, crazy coach story, crazy student story, crazy match, whatever, share it with us. Go to letsgotennis.com/my story. You might have your story shared on the podcast. Today, this is the ultimate guide to getting your kids started playing tennis. Today, we're discussing the literal search for a coach. So here's a question, Dave. Your most common incoming call. Now, you work at a public facility. I work at typically private, smaller facilities. But your most common incoming call, is it a Google search? Is it word of the mouth? Is it USTA, because they're great about promoting local coaches? I'm sorry, I shouldn't start with sarcasm, should I? What's your most likely incoming call?
Yeah, I think, and we do have an email thing at the place I work. We do get, especially when we put classes out, publicly, whether it be on social media or somewhere, we do get, we do keep a log of all the kids that are currently enrolled in classes and things like that, and usually back for about a year and a half, maybe two. So the emails will pop up if they've been in the system before, but we do get emails, a fairly amount of kids want to get started in tennis, somewhere around that, I don't know, 7, 8, 9-year-old range, somewhere in there. And it generally is just a general email. I would like to get them started, and then we reply back with how much experience do they have? Have they played other sports before? Just trying to get a general idea for coordination skills a little bit. Some kids have never played a sport before in their life. And so that's green. And that's generally what happens is we get emails in. I get some online occasionally, or text messages from somebody that referred them. Like you or somebody might say, hey, go call Dave. Here's his number. It hadn't changed in 25 years. So I know it works. But and that's a good thing to have the same number. But a lot of times it's that general statement like that. And you just kind of have to shoot a couple of emails or texts back and forth trying to find out that background, Yeah.
So a little coach vetting where we're actually vetting the incoming call. We get it with Tennis for Children. We get a lot of Google search and some word of mouth. Now, local is word of mouth, depending on how long you've been in the area as a coach, depending on what your online presence is, I think is how you're found. Because if there's no online presence, one of my favorite stories from when I was getting my first tennis lesson at 9 years old, we'll just call it pre-internet, and not quite dinosaurs, but pre-internet. My parents had to ask around, does anybody know a tennis coach? Because there was no coach listing like Go Tennis has, shameless plug, /coach finder. We actually have a list of all the certified tennis coaches, PTR, USPTA, and those on the GPTA membership roll. Every single one of them, plus their zip code. Go type it in. Find a coach near you. Coach finders are great. Now, does it get used enough? Probably not, because parents aren't going to know how to find it. How do you find a soccer coach? I'm sure you just ask your neighbor. But in this case, word of mouth helps as long as it's busy and well known. So Beaufort City, as an example, we refer a lot there and just say, hey, if our schedule doesn't work, they're 10, 15 minutes away. You got another great option over there. It's nice to be able to do that.
Sure.
But you don't have a lot of coaches that refer out because of the personality styles. It's very zero-sum game. I can't help you now, but I don't want to tell anybody else to lose you.
Right.
So there's the Google online. So it's the tennis instructor near me that everybody's going to type in. And that probably, I would guess, is the most common. because sometimes we get, hey, little Johnny's mom referred us. But do you get anything ever from USPTA or USTA as I do my best to throw our big organizations under the bus?
I get some occasionally. I remember when I was back in Atlanta, more like in the Decatur area, I was using what was it? Play it wasn't Play Your Court. It was one of the online tennis.
Get a tennis.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, one of those. Find a Pro or whatever.
Yeah.
I got a couple of leads from there that wound up being pretty good. I think anything like that, obviously everybody's going to make their cut off of it, things like that. But I think any way you can get your name out there, as long as you can put your, a short list of your credentials with it, whether it be certified or not, insured or not, things like we've talked about, it's always going to help gain some trust, because if nothing else, people see that you actually have done some of the background work to be certified, be insured, things like that. And that does nothing more than show that you're not just trying to make a few dollars and, fly by night, And I think that's the most important thing that a parent, especially of a 6 to 10-year-old kid, that's the number one thing they're probably looking for is legitimacy.
And maybe that's the next thing. We need another conversation about that. I'm sure that's its own conversation as well. Is once you find a coach, how do you vet that coach? So coaches like me, coaches like Dave, I'd say we're not hard to find because we're as easy to find as anybody else, but we're also easier to vet because more people know us. We've been in the area a long time. We have an online presence. Does your coach have ShaunBoyce.com or DaveMatthewsTennisAcademy.com? For us, it's tennisforchildren.com. We figure that's pretty easy. If you're looking for tennis for children, hopefully, we show up first. It just made sense because my wife's really smart. But in this case, one thing is finding the coach. The other thing is vetting the coach. And we don't necessarily have time. It's not like we can go onto LinkedIn, or maybe we could. I assume your LinkedIn is up to date. Mine usually is. So sometimes you get that. So it's not just the search for finding the coach, but then it is finding out, is this coach any good with a 6-year-old?
It's true. That's true.
With a high performance player, what are the coach's specialties beyond just abilities?
Right. Yeah, that becomes probably and kind of like we've talked about in one of our other podcasts about going out and maybe sitting and watching a few minutes. It's
come visit absolutely.
I sit and think about taking your car in to get it worked on. I do want to see some certifications on the wall in the office, at least, of the mechanic. And some of the guys that are working out there better have some of the same things. And, from there, I got to get a feel and kind of walk around. I don't want to walk around in the shop, but you do want to see what's back there so that you gain some trust in what they're doing. And then from there, sometimes it's just experience and talking to some of the other customers, if there's any around. And that's a good thing that's a good way to vet people.
Yeah, we've got plenty of ways to do that. Like I said, GoTennis has / letsgotennis.com/coach finder. You can type in your zip code. You can type in certification. We don't have any listing of anybody who's not certified. It's only certified right now, which that helps. Certified means usually insured. Right. Certified means continuing education. Certified usually means safe play approved, which means we've gone through all the programs that proves we're safe to hang out with your children. I was really appreciative the other night. The former HOA president of our neighborhood put in a referral for us as a business. And one of the things he said, I would not hesitate to leave my grandchildren in Shaun's care. And those are the great things to see and to understand is that's a great referral. Not everybody has that. Now, that doesn't mean that, Joe Tennis Pro is going to be bad with your kids or dangerous, but sometimes checking on those things, just ask. The same way we talked, like you said, about how do you find the right junior academy? Just finding out where it is may not be the only thing you need to do. Find out everything you can about it. And it may be beyond just typing in tennis coach near me or best tennis coach near me. because there's a good chance the best coach near you didn't optimize his SEO of his website or best. So remember what you're getting there. You're probably going to get a mytennislessons.com or a playyourcourt.com. You're going to get a larger organization helping you find coaches. And if that's what you're into, that's fine. We do it for free. Go Tennis does it for free. The Coach Finder, we don't take a cut. We don't want it. We don't want to be in between you and your coach. Call them. We give you the contact information. So Dave, anything else you're looking for? We talk about coaching and playing experience. In the club industry, it's significantly less necessary to be a former great player or somebody like you having world championships. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a coach at all because nobody's impressed with my playing career. But some of that matters. If I'm going to have a high performance coach, good chance he's got to be able to hit with my 11 UTR player.
Yeah, I think, it doesn't necessarily matter if the coach can play, currently. The experience that I hate to say it, the experience that I went through to be who I was, is it in a book somewhere? Probably not. No. It is a tougher road. And that's why I went out and did it when I was, 28, 30 years old, was so that if I did have a Shaun or a John Williams or somebody come along that wanted to go that road, it wasn't that I could do it and help them get there. It was so that at least I could tell them what was out there.
You've been there.
Yeah, I've been there, seen that, done that, ran my suicides in Motel 6's parking lots, figured out problem solved my way as best I could with what I had and the resources I had to make the best I could make me. And that was the main reason. So it's not necessarily, like you said, their current playing or can they play, or it's number one, do they have experience at that level? And if they do, you might want to listen a little bit closer because they're not going to waste your time. You know how valuable a person like, I don't want to say like me, but I know how much valuable high school time is. And I see kids all the time talking about, I can't do that. I say, you can do anything you want to do. It's a matter of chopping that time frame up, get it done.
And there's something to be said about experience, because do we want to go out and find the oldest tennis coach possible because they've got the most experience? I don't know anybody who says, all right, make sure you find the oldest coach you can.
No, but I wouldn't say the oldest. Yeah.
But it also means we don't just go out and find the young guy.
That's right.
He's going to be high energy. He might be right off the tour, but there's a good chance he's got about 30 days worth of coaching experience.
Right. There's a blend there that needs to happen. I hit with my high school players as old as I am, and it's fine. I set up the drills to where I can hit and they can get something out of it. That's the whole idea. It's not about I can beat my coach. It's about, can the coach set it up to where the player is getting something out of the situation that you're working on. And that's a whole lot different than being a great player at the moment. It is.
And that's also sometimes hard to know. So if you're searching online and you're looking at my, tennis coach near me, we'll just put it that way.
Right.
You may not find the best tennis coach near you because that's probably years of searching. Now, my suggestion, because I'm biased, go to Go Tennis because we help you with that. We're going to know all the coaches. We're going to know everybody. And we're not taking a cut. We're not coming in saying, we're actually trying to get those prices a little bit more affordable for you when we can. Sure. But in this case, it's how do I find somebody, but also call somebody that is an obvious coach. Call Dave in Beaufort, even if you live in Decatur, and say, Dave, hey, I can't get to you. I'm guessing you're not coming to me. Could you help me find a coach? There are a few of us out there that will actually help you because we at Tennis for Children do the same thing. I want you to start playing tennis. No, I'm sorry, we don't work with adults, but call these people. These people are good. We know as many as we can. Some coaches say, sorry, I can't help you, and hang up. That's fine. But Google search helps. It does. Even on YouTube, you can learn some coaches that are in the area. Most of the online people don't also coach in the area. But then there's word of mouth. Ask around, see who people know. And then also I will be self-serving and say, find out if they want to join you. Hey, I'm looking to get my 7-year-old in. Do you know a coach? No, but why don't we get our kids to play together? Let's all go look for a coach. And then you've just expanded your ability to find somebody.
Your searchability, yeah.
And then check with USPTA. I think it's USPTA.com. There's
Yep.
USTA Atlanta. They're not great at overtly helping the coaches find the students, but you can go through some systems there. Like I said, Go Tennis, I think we make it as simple as it is. We try to keep an updated list of all the certified coaches in Georgia. It's right there, their contact information. If it's not there, call me. We'll find it. We'll figure out how to get you in touch with somebody. Alta also, altatennis.org sometimes has an ability to help you find players that might also know the coaches. But in that case, Dave, did we answer the question how to find a coach?
A good starting point. Yes, sir. I think so.
Good starting point. I like it. We'll see you next week, Dave. The ultimate guide to getting your kids starting playing tennis. I guess in adults too. I'm okay with that. See you next week. Thanks, Dave.
All right, buddy. Take care.